Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Software Inc. Alpha 10. I certainly hope you're having a wonderful day, because I am certainly excited to be back with the Slapple Corporation, where things, oh boy, things are going very well indeed. We're about to hit $200 million, which is all sorts of ridiculous to begin with. But you might also notice that there's been an ever so slight change, which is that we have at least the beginning of another floor. We don't have the whole thing yet, because we don't have the need for the whole thing yet, but we do have the beginning of another floor. It has some different windows as well. It also has a solid wall and some corridors. Basically, this floor is going to exist mostly for meeting rooms and things like that. So rather than having, the entire floor be made up of, open plan stuff, it's going to be a little bit more traditional, which is why it has the different style of windows, which I think is a pretty good idea. I think it'll work out pretty nicely, and I'm kind of interested to see how the whole thing turns out. So let's go ahead and let's align the grid to this wall here, because this is obviously where the corridor needs to go next. So we'll do something like this and have the corridor go there, which is a little bit sharp, if anything. We might not want to do it that way. Maybe we don't want to do the corridor exactly like that. That seems a little excessive. So maybe instead what we could do is align to, well, I don't know if we want to align to this wall, but we'll give it a shot. So what we could do is go something like this, which would give us a little bit of room to turn, I suppose. And then maybe this could line up to the wall down here. So something like this right here and this right here. Although it does, again, just get a little bit weird. You know what? I think we'll come back to that. I don't think it's an urgent thing. I don't think it's a priority. I think our priority today is going to have to be, well, it's going to have to be getting Mobile Quest 3 done, because everything that we're marketing at the minute, while we're getting a few, 1.6 million, 1.6 million, 1.5 million, I want more. We need more money, is what I'm saying. We do need more money. So we'll have to figure that out. We will 100% have to figure that out. I'm also realizing I'm going to have to 100% figure out how to do this corridor at some point, whatever that point may be, which is probably going to be a bit of a pain. But you know what? Let's get something kind of useful. Let's actually get a meeting room in here. Even if it's not some kind of huge meeting room, I think it's going to be a good idea to at least have a meeting room. So let's see what we can do here. Let's see what we can do for tables. I think we will use these end tables to sort of cap off the room a little bit like that. And then the space in the middle is just going to be a whole bunch of regular old tables like this, which I think is perfectly fine. We could maybe put a plant in. It'd be nice to get a plant in one of the corners. I guess that corner sort of works. And then maybe a TV up on the wall. I don't know, there and there perhaps. We can't get one in the middle, but that's all right. We could do a couple of like pictures or paintings or something like that. We'll get a couple more of those in here just to decorate the room ever so slightly. And then all we need is to get some chairs, which are obviously going to be the meeting chairs here, which absolutely look the part. I've been to a few meeting rooms in my time, and I 100% know that those chairs do look the part. I actually had an office that I used to run this channel out of for a while before I sort of had the garage converted and turned into a studio, just as an FYI. I had an office, and it was actually in like a full office building. Can I copy the style for this? Is that a thing? Set as default style? Actually, yeah, let's do that. Can I then set these to the default style? Oh, there we go. That makes things so much easier. So select all of those and reset to default style. That's perfect. Yeah, that's so much better. Okay. Let's just set this as meeting only. And then let's get back to my story. So I had this office for a while, and it was in this office building, you know, it wasn't my building or something like that. I don't have a building. That's a little excessive when the channel is just me. But the point is, in this building, there were meeting rooms and stuff like that for the other companies that, you know, run their business. They might want to have a meeting. And yeah, they always look like this. Never quite this big, but the chairs were always like that. Like 100%, the chairs were always like that. Can we get this in here anywhere? Like, can I get this in somewhere nice is the question? Because I would like, oh, right there. Okay, that seems pretty good to me. I'm curious to see if anyone's actually going to use that meeting room. But I guess we'll have to wait to find... Oh, yeah, we actually have a couple of people going to immediately. Who are you? You're on the support team. Okay, that works. Worth mentioning as well, I actually went ahead and built this extra little bit right here, which I think looks kind of neat. We have one over here as well. It's basically just a bit of extra elevator space. This one actually needs more windows as well. So let's just get on that real quick. So just like that, and like that. All right, that's absolutely perfect. That's going to be our extra elevator space. We actually have got a little meeting going ahead here with the support team, which is lovely. And do we have another one coming in? No, we don't. Basically, that was just people in the support team that were late to the meeting. Oh, of course it was. I mean, that's fine. Let's also go ahead though, because I know I keep saying that we're going to do a different thing and then we keep going back to doing this. But we do need to put some lights into this corridor just to make sure that it's nice and bright. So something like that. And then can we maybe reset the grid or something? Apparently not. Can we align the grid to these walls like that? And then say we want to go 1, 2, and 3. And then 1, 2, and 3. All right, that'll be perfect. That'll keep that space nicely lit up. And hopefully, employees going to meetings is going to work out really, really well for us. Let's have a little look at Mobile Quest here. So 40.25, 31.8 is the recommended numbers there. Let's look at some outsourced reviews for Mobile Quest 3 and see how that turns out. Because if I'm not mistaken, we are just making that for SOS, right? So it's just being made for our own operating system that has not really turned much of a profit and has less than 100,000 active users. Though to be fair, actually no. So Mobile Quest 2 right now has 1.2 million active users. Have we ported that to SOS? I assume we have? Maybe we haven't. Let's see. Operating systems. Yeah, it's already on SOS. Okay, well, that's a bit rough. That's definitely a bit rough, but we'll see what the reviews are for Mobile Quest 3 and then go from there. Hopefully they turn out kind of decent. So let's have a little look here. It's currently a 4. That's not too bad. But I'll tell you what I want to do. I'll tell you what I want. What I really, really want is I want to get more teams, I think. So I want to see how many chairs we have in this room right here. So there's 28 chairs. Okay. That means if we really wanted to, we could do 7 artists, 7 designers, 7 programmers, and 7 marketers and call it a team. So we could get 2 relatively small teams, but put them in these rooms on the sides here and have that be that. Maybe one of them would have to be a leader. So let's say 6 marketers, 1 leader, then 7, 7, 7. I think that could work. I think that could work. Let's say that, I mean, thus far we've only made antivirus. I reckon we could get a dedicated team for SLAP, right? Like, I reckon we could get a dedicated team for SLAP. Speaking of which, we probably want some dedicated teams for other things as well. So we probably want to have a little look and figure out what kind of names we're going to go for on a bunch of different software. So let's do that as well, I think. Actually, no, let's put the teams together first. So we're going to have The SLAP, that's caps, the SLAP team is going to be 1, and that's going to be our, actually, let's rename you to the antivirus team. So, anti-virus team, which is fine. We could look at other video games, that's definitely an option, but I don't know if we want to do that yet. Maybe a game engine team? So, game engine team could be an idea, and then we'll look at video games. And then we could look at 2 smaller teams for content management. So what have we got on CMS? So web publishing, financial, and workflow. So technically we need 3 more. Let's do web publishing CMS team. And then financial CMS team. So those are going to be our 2 smaller teams in the 2 smaller rooms at the sides here. So the reason I'm not sure exactly what to go for on these teams is because on my Discord server, which by the way you can join at the link in the description below, or just go to discord.gg/ConflictNerd, a lot of people were suggesting names in there for video games, which is why I was thinking about doing video games, but we kind of need a good engine first. So let's assign these rooms anyway. Let's say that this is going to be antivirus. This is going to be game dev. No, wait, that's wrong. That one's supposed to be financial CMS and financial CMS only. This one is game engine. And then this one is the web publishing. So I guess that'll work. So how many people have we got in these smaller rooms then? 25. That's fine. We can do 1 leader and then 6 of everything else. So that's totally fine. Let's hire some employees then. We'll look for high salaries. We need 4 good leaders. Let's look at skill to begin with. And let's look at financial CMS to begin with. We'll go with Rochelle Vasquez, I suppose. We'll hire her for financial CMS. And then for game engine, we'll go for Giovanni O'Brien. That's a great name. Giovanni O'Brien. That's like is Giovanni Italian? Yeah, Giovanni's Italian. I couldn't remember if it was Italian or something else. So you've got Giovanni O'Brien. So like you've got your Italian, like, that's a great name. That's Italian, that's Irish, that's so good. Let's have Giovanni lead the game engine team. Then web publishing CMS is going to be Diane Hall. And then antivirus is going to be Josephina Lane. And that'll work out. So what we're going to do at that point is go to each of them and say you need to be the team leader, but you also need to be educated in HR management. So we'll get you educated in that. We'll do the same with the antivirus one. So you are going to be their leader and also doing HR management. Then same with you. And so on and so on. We're also going to need to take all of the... Oh, what do you call it? We're going to need to take all of the little peripheral devices off of the PCs. So let's have a look here. Manage role. That's your leader skill. There you go. So you're going to be a leader as well. And then you are going to... Wait. Oh, we can't do that. Okay. Then we are going to employees, go to you, and educate. So they're all going to be out for 6 months. That's fine. What we're going to do is take all the little peripheral devices out of here, because we just don't need them anymore. Because the teams are going to be in just the one room as opposed to split up in the way the core team is going to be. So all these devices can go out. We could, if we really wanted to, assign PCs to certain people, but I don't think we'll bother with that. So there we go. Those rooms will, at some point, be populated by people who are going to be working in a bunch of different things. I actually, we could probably look at getting content or project management set up on this. So let's do CMS. Let's do web publishing to begin with and just give it absolutely everything. The 2D editor, we're just going to buy a license for. So whatever the last great one was, which was apparently an 98. Okay, let's go for 2011 as the most recent one. We need, you know what? We need to get into the 2D editor market. There's not many good ones. I know it kind of goes against what we want to do with a company, but we need to get in here with a good one. And this is going to be Slapple Network, I suppose. So Slapple Network 2. Let's say Slapple Network. I don't know, Slapple Network 20? I want to say 20 as in like 2020, like this will do you through 2020 and beyond, you know what I mean? Or Slapple Network 20X. Oh, there you go, 20XX. So it'll do through the entire 2000s. That's what we're doing. All right, that's going to be running on the main server. Project management, though, is what I want to do. So I don't have any running project management tasks. Okay. So let's do this. This is going to be the Slapple Network project. Oh, do I really have to? Oh, God, this is involved. Okay. So Slapple Network is a web publishing CMS, which is going to be led by Diane Hall. So Diane is going to lead that. The design team is going to be web publishing and not core. The development team is going to be web publishing as well. Secondary dev is web publishing. Support team is obviously going to be support. The pre-marketing team can be... You know what? I actually don't mind the core team doing marketing. That's fine. Even though these guys will have marketers. What we'll do is say the core team is always going to do marketing as well as the team actively developing it. And then this is going to be single IP, use own licenses. I don't care about that. Handle marketing, yes. Physical copies. So the amount of physical copies will be ordered for sale on release of each new product developed. Add % to the end of the number to order a percentage of the product's followers. Let's order 250% of the followers. Then the print job. Set this number to above 0 to automatically queue a printing job for each project, which prints the assigned amount of copies when a project hits the beta phase. Add % to print the number. Okay. Let's print like 1000% of the followers. Or like 500%. And see if that works. So can we give this to Slapple Network for project management? There we go. So that's going to be getting done automatically. And at this point, we need to do the same thing with 4 other teams. Okie dokie. So everything is queued up to develop. Slapple Network 20XX is on its way, which is good. I'm pretty sure every time we release one after that, it's going to be like 20XX2. Which is an interesting way of naming it, but that's fine, I'm sure. I have realized, though, that unfortunately, with project management, we will start releasing things on other platforms than just mobile devices, which is a shame, but I still stand by the idea that it is going to open up the door for us to basically still dominate the mobile market. I think that's kind of okay. So Slapple Network is in the works, or it will be. SLAP4 will be getting worked on. The Tripe Engine 3 will be getting worked on, I think. And then our financial CMS, which you can't currently see the name of, but it is going to be a thing, is called Slap4GOLD. Because of course it is. So Slap4GOLD is going to be getting worked on as well when all of the team leaders come back and actually go ahead and hire people. Basically, that's what we're going to be doing. Slap4GOLD, which I think is a great name. I think it's a really, really good name. Let's get an outsourced review of Mobile Quest 3 again, just to see where that's sitting currently. I'm curious to see if it's actually any good yet. It's a 4.7. What's it suffering in? System. The system is not doing so good in the code front. That's fine. We can hopefully improve on that at some point. Can we end support for the tripe engine? I feel like I do want to do that. You know, like there's 315 people currently. I've only just noticed that like we missed a lot of tickets on that. We've missed none on Tripe Engine 2. We've missed none on SOS. None on Mobile Quest 2 and none on SLAP 3. So basically, our support team is doing fantastic work. Which is fitting because there's like 100 of them. So I guess I probably shouldn't be surprised at that. I also, since when has this game had birds? Since when has this been a thing? This fella right... Where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Right, hold on. There's a bird right there. Since when has this been a thing? Probably for longer than I want to admit, actually, now that I think about it. I am noticing it does seem like we need more cleaners. So let's bring in some new cleaning staff who can all come in at like, I want to say like 3 p.m. and then just hire a bunch of cleaning. And they're all going to have to leave at 7, which is a bit late, but let's just hire, you know, that many of them. And hopefully they can help clean things. Because, I mean, most of the employees have left by the time 7 comes around, so... The place will be relatively clean, I think. And I hope. I'm also noticing SLAP 2 is barely making a profit anymore, so we probably want to end marketing on that so we don't start losing money there. And then SOS is still barely making a profit. Man, I'm still so disappointed by that. I'm still so disappointed that SOS just didn't work out. Like, we had this big string of releases at the start of last year. And, you know, we turned profits. We did. 11 million, 17 million, 18 million. That's great. You know, we turned profits. We have almost 1 million active users on Tripe Engine 2. We actually have the same number of active users near enough on Tripe Engine 2 and SLAP 3, which is great. But then SOS comes along, and SOS just, I mean, it hasn't even sold 250,000 units yet. And that's so disappointing. We can't even sell the IP. I was gonna say we could try and sell it, but no one wants it. Speaking of IPs, actually, look at all software here real quick. Look at releases. Look at the actual highest profit here. So that's the highest profit from one piece of software. What about the Next Stop OS 5? Can I buy that? Didn't think so. What about the X? So the X, can we buy that? No. I really do think we're still the most valuable company, right? Yeah, by a decent bit. Shine Productions actually catching up again. I really wonder though, because these guys, number one, there is a lot of stock owned by other companies. But these guys are the ones with the Next Stop OS 5, right? 1.7 million active users almost 5 years later. My question is, if they won't give me the IP, I mean, I assume they're going to be working on the Next Stop OS 6, right? So if we have a look here, it'll be in here, right? The Next Stop OS 6, 2017. And then the X4, 2018. Those are the biggest competitors that we need to deal with right now. But the only way that I can think of to deal with them is to essentially look at buying out the company. You know? That's where I'm at here. But I mean, 38 million, you know? 38 million, 46, 43, 38. And I mean, we can do it. And honestly, you know what? I think we will. We'll buy out all the stock in their company. And then if we can somehow make another 200 million pounds, we can buy the entire company. Now, obviously, we have just got their company to be worth a heck of a lot more, right? They've suddenly become very, very valuable. And we suddenly have very little money in the bank. But I think that's okay, because we are working towards that end goal of buying out their company. It's also 3 months until these new leaders get back. So I guess we have some waiting to do.